Hey guys, I hope you're having a great week. I just want to get something out of the way right off the bat. I realized as I started recording today that I'm wearing the same shirt as I did last week in our recording, which means that I've worn this black polo 2 Tuesdays in a row. Yes, that is the case. Yes, that is strange and borderline obsessive behavior. I hope it's not too much of a distraction because we're going to jump right in to our next building block of showing to a waiting world, to a watching world, the reality of our faith in Jesus Christ. Last week, we talked about our faith and how we live out what we believe, what we know about God. This week, we're going to go right back to verse 5 and see the second building block. Peter says, add to your faith virtue. What is virtue? Well, virtue is, from a definitional sense, a disposition of character that leads to good behavior. Basically, that means it's a desire to do right, something that is inside of us, a part of our character that leads to doing right, to good behavior. Let me ask you, do you want to do right? Do you want to do good things? In verses 3 and 4 of this same passage, 2 Peter chapter 1, we see that virtue only comes with divine help. And God's given us that help already, the Holy Spirit. So for those of us who have true faith, there should be in our hearts a desire to do right, to do the right thing, put there by the Holy Spirit. So let me ask you again, how are you doing at that? I have to ask myself, how am I doing at that? Do I want to do right? Do I love what is true and honest and just, pure, lovely, and of good report? Or are there struggles in my life with wanting to do right? Do I consistently find myself wanting to do wrong? Now, all of us have areas in our lives where we struggle with wanting to do the wrong thing over and over again. That's just a reality of fallen humanity, and we're fighting, our flesh is fighting against the spirit. But I would dare say that for a few of us, if we look inside our hearts, what we see is that consistently we find ourselves just easily walking into sin and having no desire to do the right thing. That battle between the spirit and the flesh, that's not even happening. That should be a warning sign for us. It should tell us that we need to examine our hearts and our lives. We need to examine our relationship with God. Do I want to do right? And if not, why not? So here's some homework for us this week as we think through this idea of virtue. One day this week, I want you to write a note each time you feel compelled to do right or to do something good. Now, this might get a little bit annoying throughout the day, but I think it's a fantastic exercise to just take an opportunity every time during the day that you feel compulsion in your life to do something right. You come to a choice point and you think, you know what? I want to do the right thing instead of the wrong thing. I want to respond kindly to my brother or sister instead of smashing them over the head with a club. I want to respond respectfully to my mom and dad instead of getting angry and being sarcastic. As you feel that desire to do right, write it down. And then sometime later in the week, go over that list with your parents and ask them to be honest with you about their perspective on your desire to do right and wrong. Do they see you wanting to do good things? Do they see a desire for good in your life? Look, if we are children of God, we're going to want to do right. And there's going to be a battle inside of us, a constant battle between doing right and also wanting to do wrong. We're going to want to overcome that wrong in our lives with doing right. And we're going to have to, day after day after day, fight the fight of walking in the Spirit. That's a good thing. If that fight is in your heart, that's a good thing. Do you want to do right? Do I want to do right? Let's take a day this week and write down the times that we want to do right, and then take some time with your parents to talk through that, about the reality of your faith. Again, I hope this gives you some opportunities to talk to some other people as well about what God is teaching you and helping you learn about your own heart. Guys, this is so important. I hope it's an encouragement, And I can't wait till we can get back together as a youth group and talk about things in person. But until then, we're praying for you. We want to serve you and help you in any way that we can. And we look forward to seeing how God is going to work in your lives and in our church through all of this. Hope you have a fantastic week.